Hi everyone, and welcome back to Flight Sim 24. If you watched the last video, I explained how to start up this Hear Aerospace ES-30. And I mentioned that I'm going to do a follow-up video where I'm going to do some flight planning and a flight with this aircraft. So here we are again at Locka Executive Airport in Miami, Florida, and I do have another ES-30, okay? And I'm gonna walk around and do my pre-flight check, and I'm not gonna put all of that in this video because I just kind of want to get to where I'm gonna be taxiing and taking off and things like that, and can show you how I'm gonna put my flight plan in the aircraft and things like that. So if you want to see those things like the pre-flight and all of that other stuff, then check out the other video because I go into detail with it in that other video. Okay, so I'm going to do this walk around and I will be right back. Okay, so I finished my pre-flight check on the exterior and I got both engines 2 and 3 running, started and running. Okay, so I went through the whole procedure, and now let's get in the cockpit here, and I'm going to show you now what I'm going to do with this. Okay, let's kind of cut a little bit. So I'm kind of using two controls. I'm using a SciTech Aviator. I'm going to be using that to fly the aircraft, and I'm using a gamepad kind of to do my pre-flight, things like that. But anyway, I already set up the flight from Miami to Grand Bahama. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this flight sent to the avionics of the aircraft. So I'll set it up on the world map screen. Put departure, Locka, arrival, Grand Bahama, MYGF. Okay, so now let's select send route to avionics. You can file the plan with ATC. Now I noticed when I did that before, it kind of would make me go a roundabout way. So let's send to avionics. All right, so now the flight plan should be here. Okay, now I'm going to mostly be using this map right here on the EFB. And the reason why is because I noticed in this plane, it's a little issue with zooming out. Okay, you see, like, you should be able to zoom in and out, and I'm not able to do that. And so even when I go full screen, you see how you come down here. For some reason, it's not letting me zoom in and out. So maybe they'll fix that. I'm assuming you should be able to. And I think there should be some information here, but I'm not positive. I would think some engine information, things like that. But you can, some of this does work, as you can see. And I think I talked about that. Maybe I talked about it in my last video. I don't know. But you can set in your approach and things like that. Flight plan. It will show you flight plan here. All right. So it's in runway 27 right is what's in right now. And let's see, departure. Okay. And I can look at these waypoints over in the EFB, which we're going to do in just a minute. Make sure, verify, make sure we have it set up right. Okay. Aircraft systems, when I click this, nothing comes on. I'm thinking maybe something should be there, but this does. So everything basically does work here, other than a few things. Well, you know what? It may just be aircraft systems. Maybe that's the only thing. All right. Source, nav source. You want FMS. All right. So now let's check to see what it's gonna. Let's check over here, and you can see my flight already in. All right. And so it's looking like it's gonna have me come over here. FLL. Okay. So. And then I guess it's going to have me fly to that waypoint first, and then this one, and then over here. So let's see if that's on, if that's what they have on this right here. Okay, see, it has MANSEQ, so I'm not really sure why it has that. I'm thinking that's what it's calling that waypoint. I believe that's what it's referring to that as. Okay, so it's going to go there. It's going to have me go there first, and then let's see. Or it says Miami Opalaka. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, no, here we go. This is more like it. All right, it's just going to have me. I guess it's just showing that I'm starting here, and then the first waypoint will be FLL, which is going to be like the Fort Lauderdale. Then this one, Beach, and then the arrival will be runway 6 at Grand Bahama. Okay, so it looks good. I think that looks good. And if I want to change anything, I can always select this and just pick direct to. So I have both my communication and camera things open here. So you know what? I think we are ready to taxi. So let's go ahead now. And I don't think I'm going to need, let me see, I don't think I'm going to need a pushback or anything like that. Really, I won't need that. You know, now, obviously, just like in 2020, you know, when I go forward, I don't expect the truck and the people to move. But if this was real, you know they would be moving. Okay, so I don't need a pushback right here. Why would I get a pushback when I can go forward and just follow right around? Okay, so let's do this now. And oh, I guess I can't. I have to come up with a let's see. Okay, traffic. All right, notice right here, COM 1, COM 2, I can do traffic. Okay, that's what I need to do. All right. Let me see if I can do anything there. Not in use. No, when I pick COM 2, it looks like, you know, there must be an issue or something, because when I go to COM 2, I can't really, you know, pull the traffic up. So I guess I have to kind of put that into that frequency into my radios here. And I'm not sure what the frequency is right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. But I really hate not announcing my takeoff, you know. But I thought they had a tower. They do have a tower here. So I'm wondering why I can't tune into the tower. I'm not really sure. And I don't want to waste too much time on this, but I probably could get some information about that. I bet you I can. Let me see something. I know there is a way to do it. Let me just see real quick if I can get some information on here. I do know there is a spot in here, maybe right here. Well, that's Grand Bahama, so frequencies. Yeah, if I can pull the other one up, but I really don't want to. I don't think it's going to change my flight plan. I hope it don't. But this is my arrival. I was going to change that over to this airport here. But I'll tell you what. Let's not mess with that right now, because I might have to start entering more information in this flight plan. So let's just leave that be. And we are ready to taxi. And we're going to go to runway 27. Man, you seen that plane? That thing was flying through here. So let's get our parking brake off. Now, I'm going to switch to my flight stick here. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to switch to that. But first, let's get the parking brake off. It's just so much easier with the throttle, you know, the actual throttle, instead of using a button on a gamepad to do this. Now, I messed around with it before, and you can taxi so much better and keep the plane flying more realistically. And most of all, keep it centered on the runway a little better. okay, with the flight stick. So we're gonna go to runway, let's see. I believe that is runway. Let me stop here just for a moment. Okay. Let me just stop here just for a moment, and just so the plane don't move. Okay, let me see over here. We don't need this right now. Let's zoom in a little bit right here. And I want to take a look at that airport to see exactly what runway this is I'm being taken off from. If you look at my flight plan, it looks like it has me, well, let's see. I don't know if it's got me right here. Oh, 27 right, that's over to the right, okay? So I can go to 27 right. I just have to make that right turn. I was heading over here, and this one is 9 left. So I'm going to go to 27 right. And that'll work. Okay, so I just wanted to verify to make sure I knew where I was going at here. Alright, so let's take this parking brake off. And let's head over to runway 27 right. So I'm going to be taking this taxiway right here in the front over to the end. And I have 28 passengers on board and just under 200 pounds of cargo. Not a lot of cargo. Alright, so I should be able to go right there on the end. Let me make sure. Now let's take one more look again. Okay, that looks good. Make that right here. And this is not live time. It is live weather, and you can see it looks pretty good. As far as visibility goes, not bad at all. Yeah, I found when I was using the gamepad when after I started up the plane, you know, to get it ready to taxi and stuff, sometimes you press the button and it kind of, there's like a little delay, and next thing you know it's going full reverse, and it's, you know, so you got to be really, really careful if you get it. You can still fly it with the gamepad, but, you know, the only reason why I use the gamepad sometimes, and I think I mentioned that in the other video, in many of my videos in Flight Sim 2020, I've talked about that, is because it's just the camera, you know, the camera is a little bit better as far as smooth rotation than what it is with the hat on my joystick. This is an old flight stick anyway. It's an old one, but I like it, and I haven't ever replaced it because it's kind of hard to find one like this, because it has 2 independent throttles on the front of it, and most of them don't have that. Alright, let me see. So I'm going to make the right up here. I can turn right here if I want, but I'm going to go down a little further. So you can use these throttles on this aviator, and you can use them individually or both together. You just simply press a button and it'll kind of lock them both together. But when you're flying an aircraft that uses 2 different engines like this, twin engines, you can have it to where the plane will use one engine more than the other because you got independent throttle. So if you're trying to taxi, it helps it a little bit sometimes. Okay, right about here is good. I'm going to taxi to the end here. And this is ultra settings. Totally ultra settings, you know, so we got a little bit of wind, but I don't think anything major. I did turn on the ATIS, and I'm trying to remember what the wind speed actually was, but you can see the wind stock right ahead right there. That does not look like runway 27 right. Oh no, it is. It is. It just kind of looked a little strange at first. You know, let's see. Looks kind of weird, that airline on its side over there. And you got a few little issues like that, you know, that you need to fix. And you know, they had them in 2022. Stuff like that. It's not a deal breaker, but they could fix it, I suppose. Alright, so let me go ahead and I'm going to hold short right here. And what we're going to do is start engines 1 and 4. Right up the hold short right here and get ready for takeoff. Get my seatbelt signs on because, like I said, I do have passengers on board here. Alright, let's hold it right about here. Let's see, right here. That'll work. Okay, now let's change the, engage the parking brake. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get those engines started. Alright, so let's do this now, right here. And before taxi, we've already did this. Okay, so that's going to be on in-flight. Alright. Now I need to do this, so let's get the fuel pumps on. Both. Engine 1 fuel pump, engine 2. And let's see, now I need to get the air condition packs both off. I believe they are off, but let's check them. Yes, they are off. Okay, so no worry about those. Engine start, A and B. Alright, it is on A and B. And I'll go through those and I'll get my landing lights on and I'll turn that off. Okay, I'm going to do all of that right now. Okay, so let's do 4 first, okay, which is going to be right here. And let's hit that now. You can see the starter mode is on start A and B. Okay, so start 4, condition auto. Start 1, condition auto. Alright, and that is going to get those 2 engines spooled up and running. Oh man, that's up there. That's going to get both of those engines up and running, okay? You can hear them right now. And let's wait till it spools up a little bit before I turn them, that switch, the mode to off. It looks like my number 4, one engine's taking a little bit longer. It should be spooling up though. There it goes. Unless it's just the angle I'm looking at it. Let me see. That's engine 1. Let's make sure it's going good. It looks kind of questionable, doesn't it? Oh, it's just taking a minute. Okay, yeah, it just took a little bit longer to spool up. It looks good now. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get the plane in position. It's still kind of questionable, isn't it? So it just looks like that from the shadows or something. Yeah, it looks like it's still lagging a little bit, doesn't it? Oh, well, you know what? The one on the right kind of does too a little bit. All right, so yeah, maybe it's just the shadows or something. All right, so now, oh wait, no. Oh, you know what's going on, huh? Okay, I know what's going on. I don't have these other two. I have this controller set up. Sadly, I don't have it set up for the other two engine axes. Okay, so I'll tell you what. I'm gonna come right back and I'm gonna correct that right now because I have to use this stick, the flight stick. So I'm gonna go check that now. Get that set up. Okay, I have the throttles now squared away and fully operational. And let me show you here. Okay. Now, the way I have it is I have my first throttle doing these two, and my second throttle these two, so I could do independently between the two. Okay, so that's all we need right there. All right, so ready to go now. Altimeter set on 3022 right here. You can see right here. Now I wanted to mention too, right here. I don't know if I talked about it in the last video, but you hold your left mouse button down and you do the right button to toggle between altitude and the altimeter. Okay, so you just kind of want to press that right mouse button and you can set your altimeter. All right. Oh, before I get ready, let's get this set up too. My cruising altitude for this flight is going to be roughly about 9,000 feet. And after I take off, I'm going to get in the air and we will enjoy some of the nice scenery. They're flying over Miami and Fort Lauderdale. And then once I get to cruising altitude, I will come back. I'll cut out and I'll come back as I get closer to Grand Bahama. It's a 96 nautical mile flight, so it's not a very far flight at all. All right, and I think the rest is looking good. Now I don't know about this here. I think this should be in 265. Oh, I could be wrong. Oh no, I'm not sure about this now in my course. Unless it's no, I'm not sure because I thought it would change down here, you see, but it's not. So I'm not sure what I need to set that on, but everything else looks good. Oh, let's put the vertical speed. Let's change this to maybe about that'll be fine, just about 1,000 feet. All right, let's go ahead and move in and get ready to take off now. So yeah, I was right when I noticed that right engine not really doing a whole lot. It looked like it wasn't spooling up like the left engine was, the combustion engines. All right, so now let me go ahead and turn and get lined up here. Oh, also I do want to get this up here. I'm trying to remember what I use for the parking brake. You know, I don't always use this flight stick. That's why I'm having a little bit issues remembering. Okay. All right, so let's set up for a nice flight here to Grand Bahama. All right, and let's let it spool up first. First, let's put our. Let me check to see. All right, that's not it. Is it right here? Nope. All right, that's the parking brake. Okay. All right, let's see which. All right, I got it now. Other thing must be my trim. One notch of flaps before I take off here. Oh, we need to put this one off. I forgot to do that. No. Let's come over here too and make sure we got that checked off. And these will be okay. All right. I can easily remember those. It's all standard procedures. All right. Oh, one more thing. All right. Let's get on your seatbelts, please. Fasten seatbelts. Landing lights, taxi takeoff, and now I do believe we're ready to go. All right. Okay, now we are rolling, and I shouldn't have any trouble keeping this airplane on the runway with this flight stick. I still have to put a little bit of right aileron. Right, rotate and gear up. Keep climbing. Not a bad takeoff, not a bad. It could have been a little bit better, but not too bad. Trying to get my trim adjusted here. All right, now let's get those flaps up. Okay, so obviously we need to turn out to the right. Now it seems a bit strange because my course over here, you see it's looking like I have to kind of get it to, let's see where it's got me going right now. It says manual sequence. Okay, I do have to kind of line up with that, with my route here. And I want to kind of keep that throttle back. I don't want to be over speeding. It's way too early to be doing that. Alright, let's just try to get it on course. And I'm going to keep on climbing up to 9,000 feet. Alright, so we can go ahead and get these lights off now. But fasten seatbelts will stay lit. Alright, now we're kind of coming up. It looks like to me that let me get a little closer here. Yeah, you know what? It almost looks like it's kind of pointing the opposite direction. 270. Let's get it kind of leveled off a little bit because we don't need to be coming that far south. And I'm going to try to keep this into the green as much as I can. Keep the throttles locked together. Alright, and now so let me see, I'm trying to look at what's on my Garmin there, because we are definitely on course according to the EFB, right? At least right now we are. But my FMS doesn't seem to be lining up, and I'm not sure why, because it was doing it just fine the other day. Let's get that trim down. We haven't pulled too much on that. That's better. I want to get it straight, level, and more manageable. It flies good. It really does. It really does. So there you go. You can see a nice view of Miami and Fort Lauderdale out here. And let me show you what I mean about, see my flight stick, how when I pan around, now watch when I use my gamepad. You see the difference? Much smoother and precise. And that's what I like to do, you know. That is a nice view, and I figured it would be. Alright, so now let me try to get this aircraft on autopilot. I'm expecting it to not do it properly because it doesn't look like it's something with this FMS that's going on here, but you know, it looks like it's going to follow it just fine. So let me see, based on the EFB. I wonder if it's not totally loaded into my avionics. Let's check that again. Make sure. Oh yeah, you know what? It's done it once before. You got to make sure you press that thing and make sure it has your right, the correct route there. Now you see, now we doing it now. Yeah, now we're gonna be doing it. Okay, so we just found. Oh, by the way, there's my co-pilot. She's doing well over there. So yeah, you can see what I mean right here is how I can't zoom out for that. So that's why I said it's fine. It's not going to mess anything up. It's just that it would help if you could zoom out, but you have this whole EFB here, and it's perfectly fine for navigation. Perfectly fine. All right, so we're leaving the Miami coast. See the beach below. Looks great. Okay, and as far as performance, pretty good. Not bad, not bad. But check out the plane below me. I think that thing is moving around the same speed as I am. Hopefully he's not climbing because he's really close. Okay. We might actually see some ships out here. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if I turned up my settings for the ships yet. I mean, like maxed out. I did have it in 2022, but I don't know if I did that yet in 24, if I maxed out my ship traffic settings. But I can check, but I'm not going to interrupt the video to do that. All right, so we on our way now. Let's see. We're on our way to this waypoint here, beach. Let's see, which is perfect. Okay, once we get there, we're going to do a turn to the north, and then we will basically be able to come straight on in to runway 06 in Grand Bahama. So at this point, I will come out. I will drop out and I will come back as I get closer, because most of this flight here now is going to be over the Atlantic Ocean, and we still got 30-something miles left to that waypoint, and you can see I'm almost at my cruising altitude at 9,000 feet, and throttles are doing just fine where they're at. I can actually increase that speed, you know, definitely. All right, so I will come back as I get ready to start my approach and descent into Grand Bahama. Okay, so I just started my descent into Freeport, Grand Bahama. Now, I was able to contact Miami Center and request flight following most of the way here. I was cruising about 220 knots or so, ground speed, you know, a little higher, maybe about 260, 270, almost the whole way. And you can see this waypoint here, my next waypoint. I'm only 7.5 nautical miles away from that, and I already called the tower here in Freeport, and they told me to fly straight in runway 06. See right here? Call them straight in. So we're gonna make straight in. I'm descending right now. I kind of want to be at about 3,600 feet, so I need to really increase this descent rate. I want to be at 3,600 feet. Gotta come back on those throttles. Really, by the time I get to that next waypoint, so I only have 5 miles to get there, but I can slow down. I'm going kind of fast, so. And I'm gonna probably drop a little bit of flaps in. Let's do right there for now. 1 notch, just 1 notch. Make sure I'm not going too fast for that. All right. And yeah, it should just be a good landing. I can probably close this, I think, by now. Yeah, well, I'm gonna show you right over here real quick. If you can see that without that sun glare, 3662 feet once you get to this waypoint, and 1600 on the next one. So yeah, I'm not using vertical navigation, no VNav right now. I'm just gonna kind of manually do my descent, and that's what I'm doing now. So I'll set it down at 36. I should be getting kind of close to it. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop it down all the way to about it says 16, and I think I'm going to do that. Just let it keep descending. Because by the time I get to that waypoint after this one, I should be at that altitude. Okay, so I can go ahead and close that off, and I think the communication too. Alright, we can close all that off, and that way there's no distraction right here when I'm landing. And okay, seatbelt signs, we need those on, and put the landing lights on, okay. And I should be able to see the runway, and I can, it's straight ahead. And I'm coming right on in. It's just a straight approach here. Okay, we descending way too fast, so let's lighten that up a little bit. We only, we only 5 miles away, so we can kind of get down. Let's just leave it right there. And my speed is slower. I'm dropping in another notch of flaps. You can see right now, I'm going to put that in one more. Okay. And I'm watching my speed, so it's looking pretty good. I think I should still have a good visual on the runway even at 1,600 feet. So I'll leave it at that. And as I get a little closer, I got great visibility here. I can easily just disengage autopilot and just, you know, just manually land the plane right in on the runway. Yeah, I noticed when I was going really fast before, and I was trying to hold it at the same altitude, and the plane was kind of going up and down, like almost like turbulence. It seemed like, because it kept trying to stay below the altitude, and you know it wasn't doing good. So I had to cut back my throttle because I was almost over speeding. So if that ever happens to you, you know, pull your throttles back. I think ideally you kind of want to be somewhere in this green area when you are at cruise. It makes sense, you know, so let's do another notch of flaps. Alright, we had full flaps now, and you can be able to see that right now. And you're going to get a nice visual of Grand Bahama here coming in. Freeport. There's a couple of ships out there. Alright. Looks like 5. 3 over here on the right. Wind at 5, no problem. Okay. Knowledge landing clearance.
Clear to land runway 068904.
All right, let's go ahead and disengage autopilot. No problem. Okay, and let's watch these landing gears go down. Landing gear down. All right. And I'll just hand fly the plane right on in. Completely off, hands off right now. I had to get it a little stabilized there. Do some down trimming too. Yeah, with the crosswinds, you know, it's sometimes a little difficult to land because the plane wants to lean. It wants to, you know, lean to one side or another. So you do have to use ailerons when you got a lot of crosswinds when you're like taking off or landing, because the plane will flip over. Because I'm gonna tell you why. If you notice, the landing is really close together on those rear wheels. They don't have a wide spread, so that plane does tend to lean. Right, let's try to get it down. Now it seemed like we're a bit high. I can use a little bit extra runway because it stops pretty fast when you use the reverses. All right, this should be a pretty decent landing, I think. Let's see. All right, reverses.
894, turn next taxiway.
All right, let's get these flaps up. All right, so welcome to Freeport in Grand Bahama. Now I'm gonna taxi down here because you know, there's apparently looks like an autogen building right there that probably shouldn't be there. That's it, right on the taxiway. So we're gonna go to the next taxiway here. Alright, now what we're going to do too, we're going to shut off 1 and 4 because we are taxiing. We don't need those, okay? And that's what you can do when you land this plane. The only 2 engines you need running are your 2 and 3 electric engines when you are taxiing on the ground. And you can see those engines 1 and 4 are winding down right now. Alright, so last time I came here I wasn't able, okay, maybe I can, but I wasn't able to tune the ground for some reason. Okay, you see I don't have anything that says taxi to parking, so that's fine. And let's get this off, and we will, I mean, there's only one area, you know, so it makes sense. You see, you can't really park anywhere else, at least not that I know of. So you can see those engines there, 1 and 4 are totally shut off. All right. And once I pull in over here, I'll find a parking spot that's clear, somewhere where there's a little bit more room. This is a good plane to do this flight with, you know, because you know it's there's a decent amount of room here to land in the Grand Bahama with this plane here. And it's not like the busiest airport, but I mean they do have a lot of planes here right now. Last time I flew here, I had a different plane I flew out here, and it did. I don't remember which one it was, but it wasn't near that many aircraft here that there is right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull right on in front of that building right there and stop and get the plane shut down. Parking brake enabled. Alright, is this on ground idle? Okay, now let's go through here, and I'm going to go through the actual shutdown of the plane. Post-flight, okay. All that is good. Well, you know, we can click off these right now. Let's see. First of all, I know the passengers are waiting to get out of this aircraft. All right, so that's off. Okay. Probe heating, I can click those off too. And let's see, a couple other things. I gotta set that key. I gotta bind it. I still never done it yet. All right, so shutdown now. Okay, so both ground idle, which they are. Okay, parking brake set, engine 3 master, and 2 and 3 are off. So only 2 engines are running right there. So we're gonna pull this guard up. Click, click, off. Okay. High voltage batteries. We're gonna put all of those off right up here. Reset. And that's off. All of these are off. Window. I don't remember turning them off totally when I was in flight, but they sure are off right now. I probably hit something on my controller and it toggled them, but that's okay. All right. Hydraulic pumps and hydraulic pumps. Are they off? No, they're not. Okay, so let's put those off. Air condition packs are off. Low voltage batteries off. I'm doing that right now. Low voltage, the 2 switches right here. All right, so that's it. The aircraft is now shut down. So you can exit the plane right now and go into the terminal. Get something to drink and eat before we return to Miami, the return trip. Alright, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the like button. And have you flown this plane? If so, drop a comment below. Let me know what your experience was flying it. You know, and the more I fly it, the more I like it. It's, you know, it probably needs a little bit. My main issue with it is how you can't zoom in and out on the Garmin, but that's not too big of a deal because that whole EFB has so much, a wealth of information on it. It's like you can fly any plane with that, like that. And if you just enter your flight plan and you send it to avionics, but now you notice how on this flight I had an issue with that. So just make sure you press it. Press it twice if you have to. I thought it was set, but maybe I might have overlooked something. I don't know. But just make sure you press it twice because somehow it didn't get set right, and when I was in the air I didn't notice it. But I had it going pretty good after that. All right, so. If you like this content and you want to see more, consider subscribing because I'm going to be doing more Flight Sim 24 content, of course. And press that notification bell because you will get notified whenever I post a new video on Flight Sim 24. Alright, thanks for watching. And until next time, bye for now.